K6ers, I am Leandro Melendez. You are watching KSIX News with the latest roundup of our hottest news for April 2023. Let's kick off with our K6 OSS segment with the main changes in version 0.44. Starting with this update, K6 OSS just got a web crypto module. Well, partially, as it is an experimental module. I repeat, it is experimental, so be careful out there and let us know if you get any findings. The module implements the Web Crypto API specification in K6 with a vast list of currently supported APIs and algorithms. For a list, take a look at the project repository in the link on screen or in the YouTube description. Now, on other new features. In this release, we have added sampling capabilities to the tracing module. Now, you can specify a sampling rate within the sampling option when initializing a client, or in the tracing.instrument HTTP function. Take a look at the example on screen, and as you can see, it's super straightforward, isn't it? Well, aside of crypto and sampling, we have many more additions in this K6 OSS release. But some of them happened in K6 Browser. And remember that K6 Browser is now part of the K6 OSS core? Well, several new features were added there. And they don't belong here. They should be described in the Worldwide Browser section. But today we have a special correspondent for our Worldwide Browser news. It is Nicole van der Hoeven who will talk about the huge changes happening in K6 Browser. Hola Nicole! Welcome for the first time to this show. What news are you bringing us within the Worldwide Browser news?
Hola Leandro and hello K6ers. The K6 Browser team have been working really hard in this release to deliver both new features and improvements to the browser module. However, the browser module is still experimental, so please expect breaking changes as we update our APIs to make them a little bit more user-friendly. Speaking of breaking changes, one in this release is that we've made the locator.click API asynchronous to be a little bit closer to Playwright's API. Two new APIs that we introduced in this release are the browser context.addCookies and browser type.connect APIs. The latter will help you connect to remote browser instances. But by far, the coolest feature in this release is that we now have native support for Google Web Vitals, which means when you run a K6 browser test, in the results, you will automatically see some front-end browser metrics that you can use to track real user experience. You can find out more about that in our updated documentation here, and you'll see that in the link in the description below too. And finally, we now have a new landing page for hybrid performance testing, which spells out our approach for how we think you should do back-end and front-end performance testing together in K6. And that's all from me for now. Back to you, Leandro.
Thank you so very much, Nicole, for this special visit and for those awesome Worldwide Browser news. I thought that the last release had browser activity, but this one definitely is keeping up the pace. Now, on to more OSS news. This OSS release also optimizes how VUs or virtual users manage their memory. We reduced the consumption by up to 50%. Can you believe it? That's amazing. It's huge. All right. Also, trying to care for possible memory problems, we have included a warning message when too much data could lead to out-of-memory issues. And that is not all. The release includes more internal improvements, changes, and fixes from the K6 team and the community. Check out the full list in the release notes. Links here in the video description as usual. But not only the K6 OSS solutions received changes, there were some more elsewhere. So let's move on now to our weather segment to show you some of those changes. Please don't be alarmed by what you are about to see. Hello, Leandro, and speaking of changes and multiple personalities, isn't it? I am Leandro Melendez, your cloud weather correspondent for the day. If you are wondering, hey, where's Paul? Do not worry, everything will become clear soon. Clear as the clear skies that we had in the last report, because now, in these clear skies, we have two clouds. As we mentioned in our last breaking news announcement, link in the description, now we have Grafana Cloud K6. This awesome weather keeps improving, right? Well, we are now bringing capabilities from the original K6 Cloud into Grafana Cloud K6. Some of those additions are such as easier navigation between test runs, support editing environment variables, as well support to managing Grafana API stack tokens, and now you can save and set a baseline test run. And if you haven't and you want to try it out, remember that Grafana Cloud K6 has a free forever plan with 500 user hours per month. What are you waiting for? Check the link. And warning, just to clarify, if you are an existing K6 Cloud customer, you won't be impacted. This is because you will be migrated to the new experience at a later date. And well, that is all for our cloud weather in this roundup. Back to you, Leandro. Thank you very much, Leandro. Oh well. What? Were you expecting our usual weather correspondent, Paul Baylog? Well, as mentioned earlier, there are some changes coming. And just because you asked for him, the one and only, here is Paul Baylog, our new extension traffic reporter, bringing you from above in the air the latest updates on how our XK6 extensions are moving. Hey, amigo Paul, how does the traffic look out there?
Hey, hola, Leandro! Hey, I've got a helicopter! From up here, I can help you navigate the K6 extensions, avoiding traffic, getting you to your destination sooner. Looking for a shortcut to extensions? You can now use the XK6 Docker image, which lets you bypass setting up a Go development environment. We provided directions on how to access the Docker Expressway. There's been a lot of construction in the area since the last release. Crews were busy resurfacing the XK6 Docker, exec, Loki, output Kafka, SQL, and SSH extensions, so they should be good for another couple releases. If your test outputs are headed toward InfluxDB, you'll see that the XK6 output InfluxDB extension improved its Grafana dashboard thanks to contributor T.O. Scott. Similarly, output headed to Prometheus via the push gateway has received an update thanks to Marty Marin. Folks headed toward Kubernetes should be sure to use the new API entrance for the XK6 Kubernetes extension. Feature parity with the old API has been completed, and the old APIs have now been demolished and removed. Surrounding communities have been busy making improvements as well. Ivan Skiba alone updated no less than 10 extensions and found time to create 3 new ones. On-ramps for AWS IAM and Java key stores with Kafka have been added to the XK6 Kafka thanks to Mustafa Muradian. A new entrance for Open Telemetry has opened given the new XK6 Open Telemetry extension. For those of you on the XK6 Disruptor, additional support has been provided for injecting faults to gRPC services via inject gRPC faults from both the pod and service disruptors. Please be sure to let us know your experience as you navigate these roads by completing our short extensions user survey. You can find a link on our documentation site. It's definitely been a busy time, but now I need to see what this bird can do, because I feel a need for speed. Back to you, Leandro.
Thank you so much, amigo Paul. Whoa, awesome new segment, right? Those were great updates on the traffic with the extensions. And speaking of updates, we have some as well with our K6 operator. We have a new release for our Kubernetes operator for running distributed K6 tests with some significant changes. First, we have an initializer specification to allow independent configuration of the initializer pods, handy when you need a finer control over your executions. Second, we have a basic implementation of liveness and readiness probes for runner pods, allowing you to monitor the health of the test run. And as well, we got upgrades for K6, Go version, and dependencies, including a major update of controller runtime. And last, we have some more improvements of idempotence of the operator, making it more resilient in general and allowing you to run simultaneous tests with cloud output. Stay tuned as more features are constantly being added. Hey, looks like we have a few more things to report. In our champions section, we also have some activity from some of our K6 champions. To start, Jaswant Manigundan spoke at testing stage last April 21st. His talk was titled, "Take your first step towards observability for your automated tests." Now, not one, but two of our champions made it into the finals to speak at GrafanaCon. First, John Hill will be talking about automated performance modeling at NASA. Yeah, the NASA. And second, José Luis Latorre will be speaking about stronger APIs using K6. Don't miss GrafanaCon 2023. Take a look at the links in the description. And last, Enes Kuhn did a talk at a local meetup in Sarajevo on April 27th about hybrid performance testing. Oh, so much activity with our champions, right? Stay tuned as they are always and continuously, pun intended, doing lots of awesome things all over the world. And well, there has been lots of action in this release, right? We had joy, weather, changes, friends, and much more. And as usual, if you want to know more details about the news presented, please go to the YouTube details. There you will find the links for everything mentioned here and to the profiles of our collaborators and any other relevant information. And for more content about K6, don't miss out K6 office hours, our ongoing blog posts, video explanations, and some new surprise segments coming soon. Stay tuned! And with that, we have reached the end of tonight's report. That will be it for all of us here at KSIX News. I am Leandro Melendez. You stay classy, K6.